Okay, so, yes.
What is violent criminal?
Okay, so let's go over the prompt first, Bessie. So the prompt, the death penalty should be used to punish violent criminals. What is a violent criminal? I'm sorry? Very angry, a shooter, like we were just talking about with our drills, an active shooter. So the kid that just shot up the school in Florida, should this kid get the death penalty? What is the death penalty?
Kill them.
Who kills them?
Teacher.
Not the teacher. I don't want to kill anybody.
Yeah, that. The judge.
Okay, so the judge sentences the person to death. So the person goes to court, they're found guilty, and instead of spending their life in prison, they have to be put to death. I think now they just do lethal injection, right? So how do you feel about that? Now's the time, before we're not going to discuss it, first we're going to free write. And I want to tell you, when you're doing a free writing, if you want to free write in your first language, that's fine. Just know that you're going to be translating to English when you finally write your essay. Because you can't write your essay in anything other than English for the STAR test. But for free writing purposes, just to get some ideas down on paper, you can use whatever language you want to.
Oh.
I'm going to use French. I don't know French. So here's what we're going to do. I am going to put 4 minutes on the clock, and we're going to free write. So by free write, I mean just write down whatever comes to your mind. Make sure you're writing for the whole 4 minutes. If you can't think of anything, I will usually write something like, I can't think of anything, and then I'll kind of giggle to myself, and then I'll start writing again. Okay, just make sure that you keep writing. I'm going to also write for the 4 minutes. Yes. You're going, it's not an essay. When you're free writing, it's definitely not an essay. You can write it just like an essay, but you're not writing the whole essay for free writing. You are just jotting down ideas so you can come up with an outline and you can come up with what you're going to put into your essay. All right, it's just about organizing your thoughts. All right, so 4 minutes, everybody writes. Write about the prompt. What? You have to think of something. Okay, we shouldn't be talking. Everybody should be writing. We'll answer questions in a minute. Yes. Get to writing. I should see everybody writing. Crystal, right. We're about halfway done. right, go ahead and put your pencils down.
Yes, I need right now.
Ah.
But I cannot get it.
All right, I'm going to share with you what I wrote. Go ahead and put your pencils down.
Oh my God.
I know, I had a lot to say.
Miss Much.
No, I just jot down whatever comes to my mind. And this is what I want you to get in the habit of doing. So, before I show you what I wrote, I should preface it by saying, I think most of you know that I'm a Christian and I believe in the Bible, so I use that as a reference in my free writing. So I'll read to you what I wrote because it's like really sloppy because I'm free writing, so I'm just writing as fast as I can whatever comes to mind so I don't lose the thought. So I'm not sure how I feel about the death penalty. The Bible says not to kill. However, if someone hurts one of my children, I may want the death penalty. How much evidence must there be for a death penalty? Some people have been found to be innocent while on death row. How is the person who kills the criminal chosen? I don't know what else to think about. Will I be judged a murderer if I believe in the death penalty? Why isn't the person who kills the criminal a murderer? So these are just the thoughts that came to my mind as I was thinking about the death penalty. First of all, if you're a law enforcement person, like how is that person chosen? Do they just come up and say, hey, Angie, you look like you don't have anything to do. You want to go kill somebody? I mean, how does that work? I don't know. Like, who gets that job? And do they want that job? Like, I don't understand that. And also, I've seen so many documentaries where somebody has been on death row, so they're waiting to be killed, and all of a sudden they're found innocent.
The drugs.
Right. So what happens if you're innocent and you're on death row and then you're killed, but then they find out that you're innocent afterwards and you're already dead? They can't bring you back to life and say sorry. Like, it's permanent, you know? It's the end. And then, like, so the Bible says, thou shalt not kill. It doesn't say, thou shalt not kill unless somebody else has killed. Right? So I don't know how I feel about that. But again, if somebody hurts one of my kids, I'm probably going to suddenly be all for the death penalty. Like, I want him dead. You know what I mean? So I don't know. I'm kind of conflicted. So I can see both sides. So what I need to do for a persuasive essay, I can't be wishy-washy like I feel right now. Like, I have to pick a side and support that direction. Okay? So when I look over my free writing, I see most of what I have written is against the death penalty. There's too many questions that I have. Right? And they may be answered, but I don't know the answers. So I can't use those answers if I don't know them. So since I looked through my free writing and most of it is against the death penalty, this is the way I'm going to write my essay. I'm going to write it that I do not agree that violent criminals should be put to death. I don't know if I agree or not, but I have to write something because it's the STAR test and I only have 2 hours left and I have to get something done, right? So I'm going to just pick the direction that I have the most information about, right? So the next step for you to do is to read over what you've written, maybe jot down a couple more ideas, and figure out first, what direction are you going to go in? What are you going to write? Do you agree or disagree? And remember, when you're writing an essay, that doesn't mean that you can't change your mind later on in life. That doesn't mean that that's the final. Nobody's going to come up and say, hey, Miss Saul doesn't believe in the death penalty, right? It's just writing information, right? So pick a direction. I'm going to give you 2 minutes. Look over your notes and figure out whether you agree with the death penalty or you do not. 2 minutes, you should have an opinion. And don't discuss it right now because I want you to have your own opinion, not your neighbor's opinion. 2 minutes. Look over your notes. Oh, Lordy. Remember, there's no judgment. Whether you agree or disagree makes no difference to me. I'm on the fence. I agree and disagree. You doing all right, Shakoni? You seem awfully tired. About 30 seconds left. Make sure in 30 seconds you have your opinion.
Do I have to write it?
You do not have to write it. You just have to be firm in your opinion. I may not always disagree with the death penalty, but for today, for this essay, I'm going to disagree. Right, Crystal?
Do you want to share with the class?
Right? You talking trash?
She's bad.
Alright, voices off. 3, 2, 1. You're chatting so much. Raise your hand if you think violent criminals should be put to death. You, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, are going to be in a group together. Over here. Everybody else, over here. Move. Go. Fast.
We're gonna fight.
Separate. We're going to fight. That's right. No, we're not going to fight.
5 against like 12.
Move quickly. Get to your groups. Agree with the death penalty over here. Disagree over here. Okay, so everybody has moved. What you're going to do is you're going to get a piece of poster paper and a marker, and you're going to write down reasons that your group either agrees with the death penalty or disagrees. Remember, these are your opinions. Nobody's going to judge you. You're not going to be graded on, oh yeah, that's a great idea, or really? Okay, it's just jotting down ideas, pre-writing. Questions?
No.
5 minutes. We'll talk with your group so you can get ideas. Now is the time to discuss it. Oh my word, y'all have a lot of colors. You're going to have a lot of ideas. Yeah, so you're going to talk with your group and you're going to write down ideas of why you agree with the group.